Hi, it's Colleen from Keeping the Peace, and welcome back for another episode of Colleen Answers Your Questions. Today we are in the down bar of episode 30 in this same series, and Connie B says, "Hi Colleen, your videos are spot on, they're helpful. I have a question. I dry fire every day for at least an hour." That's a lot of dry fire, that's great. "I also use lasers with targets, and that has been helpful with lining up my sights. You've helped me with my trigger control and flinching, and now I'm wondering if you can answer this question. When I'm at home dry firing, I'm cool, calm, and collected. But when I go to the range, I get an adrenaline rush that makes me shake a lot. I don't feel like I'm scared, and I know I don't have a reason to be scared, and yet I get the shakes. Is there anything I can do to help stop this? Thank you so much." Well, I'll go ahead and tell you that I remember very well what you're talking about. In the beginning of my shooting days, I was going with my husband sort of frequently, and initially, of course, I was terrified of guns. Just in case you didn't know that, if you look way back in my channel, you'll find videos about that. I was absolutely, completely terrified of guns, period, across the board. And so when he started taking me, I was terrified. So I probably shook. I don't even remember, but I'm sure I did. I had like internal shakes. I was fearful of the gun. I was fearful of meeting his expectations or knowing that I wouldn't. I felt very inadequate and uneducated and ignorant. I also was fearful of what other people in the range were doing behind the partitions that I couldn't see. Were they pointing their muzzle at me? Were they being safe with their gun? Plus, it was loud. I was in an indoor range. It's like being in a cave, if you've ever been to a cave, and you make a tiny little noise and it's really loud. Well, just imagine 8 people shooting at the same time. Our range has 8 lanes. Sometimes people are shooting a Desert Eagle, or sometimes they're shooting a full auto. So that just kind of exacerbates the problem. So I definitely remember that feeling. I also remember after having gone to a few training classes by myself, I got up the nerve to start going to the range by myself, which is when I really started improving. Because I stopped having that fear of meeting expectations. I was able to actually work on things and accomplish things because I had a goal when I went. I had a plan. I wasn't as worried about what other people were doing. However, I had this nervous feeling because I felt out of place there. I was the only female going by myself. I didn't feel real comfortable there. I didn't have friends there. A lot of times ladies feel comfortable going and doing things with other people. I was going by myself. I didn't feel like, let's just say, I assumed that everyone there knew a lot more about this shooting thing than I did. So there was that kind of a feeling. And for the first probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 times I went by myself, I had that kind of weird feeling until I got shooting. And then it kind of got better and better and better. The more classes I took and the more competent I felt with my weapon, the more that went away, because I began to trust my ability a little better, knowing that I had lots of room to grow, which I still do. We're always studying, we're always growing and learning. But knowing that I'd covered enough ground that I was safe with my weapon and that I could handle myself there. So I think really repeated exposure is going to be the cure to your problem. Time. The more you go, the better you're going to feel. The more you train, the better you're going to feel. The more you practice, the better you're going to feel. Dry fire is excellent for diagnosing yourself and honing in good quality skill by repetition. But without the noise and the excitement of being in the range, it's not going to help you with that feeling. That feeling is only going to go away with repeated exposure to that scenario. So what I would recommend is start signing up for some classes if you can, and going to the range regularly by yourself, because it'll kind of just build your confidence, and I think that's what's going to happen. It's probably a little bit of a confidence, maybe even if that's subconscious, a confidence issue. I wouldn't have realized any of these things at the forefront. Like if you had asked me this question way back then, I wouldn't have even been able to comprehend all this to answer your question. But now I can look back and see that those things were going on in my mind. They were maybe subconscious. I wasn't sitting there thinking, oh, I wonder what they're doing behind there. Those things weren't in the front of my mind, but they were in the back of my mind. And those things, even when I go now, even when I'm there with students, I still kind of wonder what people are doing down there, because I've seen what some people do. And I've seen some really unsafe gun handling. And, you could wear a bulletproof outfit to protect you, but at some point you just have to kind of throw it to the wind, trust the Lord, and go shoot and have fun. And if somebody does something stupid, then we'll deal with it then, because really there are a lot of people doing some crazy stuff at the range. But you can't live your life in fear and never do anything. You just kind of have to go for it. So I hope that answers your question. Maybe you were hoping I would have like this thing you could do to fix it. And this is a thing you can do, but it's just going to take time. It's just going to be an investment of time and patience with yourself. Don't expect this to go away quickly. Just kind of keep shooting, and then one day you're going to go, I'm starting to feel comfortable. This is, I'm not shaking. This is getting more comfortable. So if you think that you're shaking because of noise, because of a flinch response that's reflexive, you cannot control flinching. Flinching just has to go away with exposure. Sometimes just double plugging or using double hearing protection can help with that, so that might be something to consider. See if it helps you. But otherwise, I would say just repeated exposure. Keep on doing it, keep on training, keep on learning, keep on dry firing like you've been doing, and just watch it get better with time. Talk to you later. Bye.